Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of the Kai Paul podcast. And today I'm so excited to have my guest, Marissa Martin, on the show. Welcome,
Yes,
Marissa.
thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's so good to have you, Marissa. You are a super mom, an accomplished makeup artist in the event and wedding space. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, because you're such a cool person.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I'm a mom of 3 beautiful miracles. My oldest is 11, my daughter's 8, and my youngest just turned 6. And I juggle that daily along with having my makeup artistry business. So I'm going into year 5 of doing that solo on my own. And yeah, it's been really cool how it just kind of blew up and kind of came out of nowhere. So that's been really
Tell
fun.
me about it. How did it come out of nowhere? I actually don't even know the story. So.
Well, I've been in the beauty industry for, oh my goodness. Well, I took aesthetics right out of high school. Okay. Now I'm going to age myself here. In 2007, I believe. So I've been in the industry for a really long time, almost 20 years. And always loved makeup specifically, even growing up when I was really little. Everyone always says, oh, your mom must have wore a lot of makeup. She must have taught you how to do your makeup. And I would say, no, it's just something that was in me. Okay. And so I love the aesthetics world, but I always knew that I wanted to take on makeup full time. I had Luke right before all the COVID craziness hit. And I was stuck at home, and I started selling makeup online with a makeup company. And then I feel like that was kind of opened doors for me.
Okay.
And I started having people obviously buying the makeup, but then wanting me
It's okay. You can plug yourself. What company is it?
Do their makeup. It's Saint Makeup.
Okay.
And I just had people reach out wanting me to actually do their makeup. And I just kind of rolled with it from there. But it was just crazy. Awesome. How it just blew up so quickly. And so I'm just trying to now find the balance, because I love that so much. But my priority is my children right now. With them being little, it is so short, but it's so precious, and I don't want to miss that. So I'm just trying to find the right balance between doing what I love, but also being a present mom.
Wow, that's crazy. 3 kids under the age of 12, all of them, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot to juggle.
And
also to be an entrepreneur in your own business as well. So that's crazy. Well, that is so cool. But the reason I brought you on the show today is because a while ago we were actually doing a shoot together.
Yes.
And we just started talking about relationships and how we ended up with the wonderful human beings that we are together with today. And so your husband, Matt, you were sharing a little bit of your story, and it literally blew my mind of how you guys met. And I didn't even know. I just always thought you were from here. And you're like, no, I'm from a little island off the coast of New Brunswick. And I'm like, what? And so we want to talk about relationships. We want to talk about heartbreak. We want to talk about waiting for the right person. That's kind of what we want to dive into today. And I'm so excited to have this conversation because I love talking about relationships. Yeah. And so would you just be willing to dive in and share a little bit of your story? And
I'll say I still feel like, for me, it feels weird now to say how we met. I don't know. It feels strange now and weird to say it out loud. But I'll just start with my husband and I met online.
Online?
And we were pretty young. I was 21 and he was 23 when we met. And we both had previously had long relationships. I believe his high school girlfriend, they were kind of on and off for 5-ish years. Wow. My high school boyfriend, we were on and off for about 6 or 7. Very kind of toxic, not great relationships. So, and not really living the life that both him and I knew that we should have been living. And so I had kind of given up on relationships. And my mom was the one that convinced me to do the online thing. She's like, well, your cousin met her husband online, so maybe you should give it a whirl. But I thought, man, I'm so young. Like, it feels weird to do that. But I don't know. I was in this weird gray area of my life where it was like, what do I do from here? Where do I go from here? Honestly, almost moved to Nashville with my uncle lives there, and I was just at a point where I was like, get me out of here. I'll go, I don't know, do music or something.
Because you grew up on like a tiny island, probably not a lot of people. Yes. Like, could you just share a little bit about that?
Not a lot of people, yeah. So we moved off the island when I was 13. Okay. So I was living off. But yeah, I grew up on this tiny little map dot, just like south of New Brunswick. So it's small. Like, you can drive half an hour from one end to the other. Wow. And then you have to take an hour and a half ferry ride to get to New Brunswick. Crazy. And then you're an hour into the city. So anytime we had to do anything, it was like a day trip to go anywhere. So growing up that way, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was amazing. I loved it. I love that I was like so isolated and secluded as a child, and I could just be a child. But yeah, we moved when I was 13, and that was really hard. It was a tough time to move. I won't get into that, but yeah. And then I met my high school boyfriend, and yeah, just had some not so great relationships. And yeah, where we were living at the time, I just kind of felt like, where am I going to meet? You know, I knew what I wanted.
And what did you want? What were you looking for?
I knew I wasn't looking in the right places. I'll say that much. I just wanted someone that just held the same values as close as I did. Solid, God-loving, driven man. Like, I don't know. I feel like most girls kind of look for somewhat the image of their father, right? And my father he's very hardworking, but he's also so gentle and soft, and he's loving, and he's affectionate, and he's caring, and he loves Jesus, and that's the kind of man that I wanted to find. So, yeah, my mom signed me up, eHarmony.
What a throwback.
eHarmony. I remember after Matt and I met, we would see the commercials on TV, and we would both laugh, and he would look at me and say, that doesn't work. Yeah, okay.
I think it's so neat that you guys met online, you know, because my fiance now recently engaged. We met online as well.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yes,
we actually. That's so cool. I took a risk and just sent a random DM to someone that I'd never met in my entire life.
I love that.
And it's so interesting because I think there's this kind of notion that's like, oh, you met online, you know? And it's
it feels weird to say,
exactly.
Right?
And it's almost like it's looked down upon.
Yes,
it's like if people are just kind of like, oh, you met online.
I used to hate
you couldn't
telling
meet someone
people.
on person, blah, 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 blah. And my perspective on it has really changed. Well, because I'm now engaged to someone I met online.
For sure.
Even at the time, I was kind of like, back when you meet someone in person, you know, you have no idea about their past. You have no idea about who they are. You have no idea what their life is like. And you just kind of meet, and they can be anyone they really want to be, right? But when you meet online, you have almost a little bit of a unique snapshot into their life. What are they liking? What are they posting? Who are they to the world, you know, because who they are to the world is a representation of who they are on the inside as well, right? And so I think it is actually a unique opportunity that we have nowadays that didn't exist in the past. And so to anyone that's maybe like struggling with the fact of like, oh, should I go online? Should I not go online? I was like, I think God can work in any way to bring someone into your life, whether it's online or in person.
I agree. And to kind of go off of that, I always say to people too, like, yeah, I met him online, but that was total like divine intervention. Because of the way, like, I'm from the East and he's from the West. Like, he was the only person I emailed. He was the only person I exchanged my phone number with. He's the only person I met for a date. He's the only one. And for that to happen, I just feel like God's hand was in that. You can't tell me that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie back into that later.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I got to hear the rest
Okay.
of the story. Okay. So let's go back. Your
Okay.
mom signed, she's like, I'm going to pay for you.
Yeah.
You're going to go on eHarmony.
Yeah.
You're going to meet someone.
She's
and you're like,
you should try. Yeah, I'm like,
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Not thinking, obviously. I was not thinking I was going to meet the person that I would one day marry. So for any of you that have tried eHarmony, I don't know if you have, but I mean, it's like a whole process. You got to fill out like a huge questionnaire, all the things. Oh yeah. And you can narrow like where you want to look. Like I could have just kept it to New Brunswick.
And there's not a lot of people in New Brunswick.
No, there's not. But I could have kept it like smaller, but not thinking I was going to meet my person. I was like, all of Canada, right? I mean, country. I did. Yeah, I was like the whole country. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I didn't take it too seriously, I guess. I mean, I was honest with my questions, but again, I didn't think I'd find my person. And so I was actually the one that saw Matt. I was getting like requests and you get messages and whatever. And you're like, I didn't even answer any of them. I was the one that saw his profile picture and I still remember he was out on his farm in his dirt bike gear, knelt down with his farm dog. Aww. And something about that photo, I don't know, it was something drew me in about him. And I was the one that messaged him. Okay. And he messaged back. And again, it's like a whole process. You have to like send multiple choice questions, and then you have to send short answer questions. Oh, wow. And like it's like a whole thing. Okay. Then you can exchange emails, then you can exchange phone numbers and go from there. So it's like it's pretty protected too. Yeah. Which is good. Which is great. Yeah. And then from there we talked and it was really nice that we hadn't met in person, but for months we really took the time to ask the right questions and really get to know each other before even meeting face to face. I don't know. I think that time was just really precious to like genuinely get to know each other.
Before we keep going, there's something I want to latch on there because you said ask the right questions. And, in today's society and culture and like it's happened even to me is you go through a broken relationship where you go through pain and then you go to this phase of love bombing, like I just need to find a person. Totally. I just need to cope with this pain. Yes. And it just results in more pain, but you just love bomb. You find someone who's like, maybe even they don't even meet your qualifications, but you just need someone. You need something to fill that void. Yes. And so the way you can avoid that is by asking the right questions. And so what would you say to the young man or the young woman or even the person that maybe is older and, has had some broken relationships, has had some struggles in the past? What would you say to them? What are some of the right questions that you can ask?
I would say first and foremost, be authentic and be yourself, be you, and be honest with yourself about the things that you want so that when you're asking those questions, you're like, okay, that does align with what I'm looking for. That doesn't align with what I'm looking for. But also really take into consideration like your future and how you envision that to look. What do you want that to look like? What do you want that to look like once you're married, once you have children? Do you want to be close to your family? Do you want to be close to his family? Wow. Do you want to have children? What's that going to look like? How, I mean, none of that is totally predictable. Right? Totally. God's hand is in all of that. But I think you need to be kind of on the same terms with that person, right? That other person might say, well, I don't want kids. I want to travel the world and live in an RV. So it's just asking those life questions. And if faith is important to you, you need to ask those questions as well, right? Where do you line up? And do you want to grow together, in our faith together? And just the things that are important to you, make sure you ask those questions. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend once and I asked him, I said, what are you looking for? And, he was older than me, a few years older. And he was really looking for someone. And I asked him, I said, what are you looking for in your soulmate, you know, in your future partner. And he said, all I want to be is just loved.
Aww.
And like, that's beautiful. But at the same time, it hurt my heart because it's like, no, right?
There's so much more.
There's so much more, right? There's more to ask, right? Because, and fundamentally, I think when you've gone through brokenness and when you've gone through heartbreak, the only thing you want is, I just want someone to love me.
For sure.
But the thing is, love is a choice, and sometimes it's not a feeling. And so when people treat love like a feeling, and they're
I'm so
feeling, they're just kind of like, it's kind of like, oh, but I just want to feel that. I want to feel, but it's not. The other person has to choose to love you. And unfortunately, sometimes relationships go through hard moments, and that choice becomes hard. It becomes hard to choose to love that person over and over when they've wronged you, or when they made a mistake, when they've disappointed you.
And that only continues with time, right?
Exactly.
Like Matt and I have been through some really devastating, hard losses and grief and things. And I'm so thankful that we had that solid foundation at the beginning, because I knew that I was like, he's got me, and vice versa. Like, we're going to get through this together. But it's a choice. It's a choice every single day that you wake up in the morning.
100%.
No matter what.
When young people or anyone is in that posture, that's kind of like, oh, he's handsome, she's beautiful, that's enough.
There's no. And I feel like that's just our society today too. And it's like, well, so many people are so focused on like, well, what do you do for work, and how much money do you make, and what do you like it's all about like the material things.
I'll compromise my values because he or she has this. Right? It's like, no.
Yes, even now, like working in the wedding industry and seeing how so much of it's like, I've said this so many times, people, I wish, like, I see all these young people getting married, and I'm not saying that you can't have, you know, a luxurious wedding and, you know, have it what you want it to be, but I think so many of these people getting married are so focused on what the wedding day is and not focused on the marriage. Because I knew I wanted to marry Matt. I did not, looking back, I'm like, why did I choose those colors? Those aren't even my favorite colors. There's so many things. I'm like, why? I bought my wedding dress off the sale rack. Our wedding venue was $500. Like, we have no video footage of our wedding day. I didn't care about any of the fine details.
'Cause you had your
All
person.
I said at that time, and I remember, I want to marry Matt. I don't care. And that's where I think today people just are getting a little lost, because it's easy to get married. It's easy to get divorced. And they're so focused on the Instagram wedding and what it's going to look like, rather than focused on having the right person. And I hope that doesn't sound harsh. I don't want that to come across as harsh, but
it's a reality check. It's a reality check.
Yeah. It's like, are you choosing the right person?
Yeah. Something my grandma says all the time, and it really resonates with me. And sometimes it's hard because, you know, I work in the social media world, so a lot of times when I think about my wedding stuff, I was like, I want to get the content, you know, I want to get the stuff.
And that's okay.
But what she says is, she says, you know, a lot of times people say that your wedding is the best day of your life. But she said the wedding is the first day, which should lead to the best day of your life.
Ooh, that gave me chills.
Exactly. Yes. It's like they have that perspective. It's going to be the best day of my life. But then you create this expectation that every day after is going to get worse. If it's the best day, you're starting you're going downhill, right? And it's like, it should be the start. But every day should get better, because it's not about the flowers, it's not about the budget, it's not about the venue, it's about your person, right?
No, it's about your person.
If you make it about your person, then it's going to be the start of a journey of the best days of your life.
Right, and if you make it about your person, like, even looking back, there are things that I think, I would have changed that or done that differently, but I wouldn't change a thing. I loved our day. Like, I would relive it over and over again. Oh, I'm getting emotional. It was just like, it was everything, and he is my everything, and so I wouldn't change it.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Whew, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. That's what we're here for. Keep it real.
Yeah.
So eHarmony, you guys
Yes.
went through the short questions, the multiple
short
choice,
questions.
you know,
Yeah.
exchange emails, exchange
Yes.
phone numbers. You are on the east coast of Canada, and he is on the west side of Canada.
Yes.
And for people that might be listening from the States, that's like 4,000 miles.
Yes.
That's a
That's
far
far.
distance. So what happened?
Yeah, so without like going into too much detail, I was at the time I was working at I was working 3 different jobs. But one of my jobs I was working at a spa doing aesthetics, and one of the girls I was working with, she was a hairstylist, and she actually moved to New Brunswick for her boyfriend, who I knew,
No way.
ironically, which was so weird.
That's crazy.
And she's from Calgary.
Okay.
I know.
Wild.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm going home to visit my mom in July in the summer. You're welcome to come with me if you want to stay with me so that you can meet him. Like, obviously you still have to, I'm 21 years old.
Totally.
You still have to be careful. I've never been to Alberta. Like, I haven't met the guy. So I did things very smart. I was very smart.
Good.
I didn't even let him.
There's some bad,
I
some bad
know,
stories that
totally.
happen online, right?
I
So
didn't
you
even
did it
let
the
him
right
pick
way.
me up at the airport.
Wow. Good
Yeah,
for you.
like I was,
Good for you.
like I ordered a car and then went to her house. Her name is Kim, and stayed with her. And planned to meet up with Matt the next day. And that was definitely weird, I will say. It was the most bizarre feeling because I felt like I knew this person through and through.
100%.
But I had never met him in real life.
Yeah.
So it was very weird. I will say our first date was very quiet and a little bit awkward, and it was just strange, right? But it didn't take long for that to go away. I did automatically, obviously, feel comfortable with him. I knew I was safe, and but yeah, I spent a week here after that, and he would come into the city every day and like pick me up. We did things around the city. He brought me out to like his parents' farm.
Green flag,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like showed me his town. He had already bought a house.
Wow.
And so I got to like see his house. And then on the last night I was here, I could tell he was like conflicted about me meeting his parents because I didn't know at the time. He didn't tell them that he met somebody.
Did he just bring you by?
He just brought me to their house.
You by?
At like 9 p.m. at night. No, I'm not kidding. We just like show up at his parents'
and you
house.
didn't know that. You had no idea.
No. His
Guys,
parents had
do not
no
do
clue.
that. Do not do that, guys.
But I
Wow.
could tell there was like, he was like conflicted about taking me.
And you're just got like, what?
I was like,
There you
okay, whatever. And so we
That's
just show up
wild.
and we talked for like an hour to his parents. And then, I flew back. I'm like leaving out a lot of details because I know we're limited for time, but flew back home.
Mm-hmm.
This was in July 2010. And then he came out September. So he had never been on an airplane.
Wow.
Never been to the East Coast, obviously. I don't think he had ever swam in the ocean either, because the first time he went in the ocean,
It's a lot of
he didn't realize
news.
like it was salty. Like, dude, it's really salty.
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents met him, instantly loved him, and he had a visit there, and
Wow.
then I moved here that November.
No way. Wow. You just
Well,
moved
it
here.
was just one of those like, okay, well, where are we going to go from
True.
here?
Yeah. It's
Like, obviously, I'm interested in you. You're interested in me. He was a lot more tied down than I was. He had his house. He had a really good job, which he still has to this day. He had like 4 different trucks when I met him. Whereas like I was a little
real
more,
Alberta
yeah.
boy. Yeah.
I was able to, I wasn't as tied down, I guess. And so, I just like left everything and just had the thought in my mind, like, okay, well, if we're going to try this, we need to at least be together, be able to spend time together, and we'll just go from there, right?
Yeah.
You can always come home. We'll just wing it. So, met his parents, knew them for a solid hour, and moved here and moved in with them.
Moved in with his parents.
Moved in with his parents. Yep.
Did that hour go okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fine. Crazy. I mean, it was still weird because I didn't really know them, but I knew nobody here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had no friends. I had no family. I had no connections.
So I have a question because some people are going to be like, why the heck did you just not move in with him?
I know. And I get that a lot.
Of course, we're people of faith. We love Jesus. And some people think we're crazy for not living together before marriage. But could you just dive into why you didn't want to move in with him?
So let me just say first and foremost, I am not perfect. I have made mistakes in my life, in my past relationships. Yeah. I am not going to sit here and be a holier than thou person. So let me just get that out of the way. The reason why I moved in with his parents is because I knew I wanted different.
Wow. Can you say that one more time?
The reason I moved in with his parents is because I knew I wanted different for me and for my potentially future husband. Wow. And he was in agreement, and that was something that we talked about prior to. And so we just wanted to do things the right way, the way that we felt was the right way. And we didn't want to live together before we got married. Wow. And we stuck to that. I moved like 3 or 4 times before we got married and lived together, but we stuck to that. And so I moved in with his parents, and here
you are today.
Yeah, here we are today.
So I want to go back to something that really stood out to me. And you said you had a lot of conversation. You had to ask a lot of questions. I think this is the danger that a lot of times people fall into when they have a relationship online is they only text. And you said, you guys exchange phone numbers, you call.
Oh, yes.
And I think the danger is, and I've seen it time and time again, when you build a relationship, an online relationship with someone and it's only text, you can be whoever you want to be.
Totally.
You can create the motion you want to create. You don't have to be real. You could be laying in bed half asleep, texting whatever you want. And so to anyone that's like online and that is looking for someone, make sure there's phone calls, make sure there's FaceTimes before you, make sure that you do those checks, right? Because I've heard the story over and over and over of people that's like, oh yeah, I met this person, and they talk for a year and then they meet and it's a completely different person than who they thought they were. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yep, I can see that for sure.
So good for you. Yeah. Good for you doing the due diligence, and but it is a crazy feeling, when I didn't tell anyone this story, but I
share.
Okay. I haven't really even told this story a lot, but basically when I was kind of in this place, I was like, I'm ready for a relationship, and in my recommended profiles, this girl popped up, Peyton Maxwell, and I was like, I have no, common followers with this person. I have no idea why they popped up, but she was beautiful, and her bio was Solo de Gloria, which means to God be the glory alone in Latin, which I knew because I speak Romanian. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to DM her. So I sent her a DM, and then we started DMing back and forth for a few weeks, and then I was like, okay, well, this is either going somewhere or not. So I asked her out, and she said yes. So I booked a flight to Atlanta. She didn't know that I was booking a flight to Atlanta just to go on a date. She had no idea. I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in Atlanta. Do you want to meet for lunch?
I love that.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, let's go for lunch, because I didn't want to put the pressure on her thinking that I'm coming internationally just to meet you.
Oh, that's really
sweet.
And
anyways, it ended up working out that I got a job in Atlanta, and that worked out. That's but beforehand, I booked my flight just going to meet her. And so I'm getting on a plane. I tell no one, because it's like, this is crazy. I'm literally been talking to this person for 1 month online. Yep. And now I am going to meet this person.
People thought I was nuts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
right?
They
People
thought I was
crazy.
Yep.
And then you go, and that first meeting is a little bit, you're kind of like
weird.
You're kind of like, ha ha ha, you're like trying to be funny, or you're trying to say something.
Yes.
And then, but it is a little bit weird. But having that courage to step out of what is comfortable.
Yes.
Stepping out of what is comfortable often leads you to people that you would have never encountered before, right?
Totally.
Because staying in your hometown, staying in a small place. I grew up in a village of 500 people in Romania, right?
Which is so cool. That's so cool.
It is, but it's comfortable, right?
Yeah,
because it's who you know. So.
Same with the island I grew up on too, right? Yeah, it's just comfortable. A lot of people just stay there because it is comfortable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved to Alberta.
Yes.
Keep this story going.
Okay.
You moved to Alberta.
Yes.
You lived with his parents. You moved like 4 times.
Yeah.
And then, so obviously you loved him. And then how did marriage come up? Like what was the step that led to that?
It was something we talked about. I wouldn't say we talked about it until probably a year at least after knowing each other. But I feel like it was different too, and I'm sure you can relate to this, like for 2 different people living in 2 different places. For me, it was more like, just let me know if you feel like this isn't right, you know? Because it sounds kind of rude to say, like, I don't want to waste my time. But also, 100%. If you don't feel like I'm your person or I'm the right person, like I would rather know, right, than be here for another 2 or 3 years, Absolutely. You know? But I think him and I were both kind of on the same terms that way because we were both looking for something serious. We were both wanting to find our partner in life. So, we talked about it a fair amount. And it was funny because I remember him taking me in the summer following me moving here in 2011. He wanted to go look at this acreage property. Okay. And I'm thinking in my head, dude, what? He's like, I just want your opinion. Why do you want my opinion? I'm like, ain't no ring on my finger, so I don't know.
Feel a little light right now.
I'm like, okay, sure. So we go and look at it, and I'm thinking, okay, it was a total dump, might I add. It was a bank repo. It was nasty, but I was like, okay, the realtor wouldn't even go in the house. It was so bad. It was so bad. We ended up buying it, by the way. Whole other story. Yeah, our story is crazy. But it was shortly after that. I would say like a month or so after that was when he proposed to me. And same thing. It was nothing glamorous, nothing extravagant. He literally got down on his knee at his sister's house in their kitchen. We were having family dinner, actually celebrating my birthday. Wow. And he just got down and asked me, and I cried, and it was perfect and beautiful. And so we got engaged like a year after I moved here. So like December 2011. Wow. And then planning a wedding from here. We got married in New Brunswick. Okay, wow. That was a little tricky. But I had like my mom and my sister helped out a lot. Wow. And I went home a couple times like in between that so I could try on wedding dresses and look at where we wanted to get married and stuff. But again, it was all kind of like, sure, yep, that works. Yeah. And yep, sounds great. And
You just brought something up that I wanted to just kind of like just chat about a little bit. And you said it's nothing elaborate. He just got down at my sister's at my birthday, and I got recently engaged.
Yes,
and
congratulations.
I had I probably went a little crazy on my engagement, but my heart has been sad over these last few weeks because a few different people at my church, a few different people have come up to me and they've just kind of been like, what a crazy proposal. Like my proposal wasn't like that, or my engagement wasn't that. And I've had guys that even tell me, it's kind of like, wow, you blew it out of the park and stuff. And then the only line that just kept coming to me is comparison is the thief of joy. Oh, yeah. And I think you work in the wedding industry.
It's easy
so
to fall into
people,
that.
When it's engagements, whether it's a proposal, whether it's weddings, they're looking as like, oh, but look, this person did this person did that. And you know what?
Look at her dress and look at her. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
And every wedding and every person, every story is beautiful, and it's them. Someone that loves ranches and loves horses and they propose in the corral. Yes. That's them. That's their story, and that is beautiful. And that's the one thing that does almost hurt me a little bit with social media is that it's so easy to compare.
It's so easy to compare.
But for anyone that's listening, is like your story is beautiful. Yes. Who you are with is beautiful, and so don't let what Instagram or what society justifies as the perfect wedding or the perfect proposal or the perfect moment or the perfect relationship to define you.
Yeah, definitely. And it is hard being within the industry and seeing all of those things. Like it is easy to fall into that. But then I immediately stop myself in my tracks and say, yeah, but we're going on 14 years married. We still love each other. Let's go. We still love each other, and not just like, we can live civilly. No, we love each other. That's my best friend. That's my partner. That's my go-to. That's my backbone. He is my person. And to be able to still say that is like, yeah, who cares? Who cares what the proposal was? Who cares what the wedding day was like? When I look back, that's our story.
Absolutely.
And that's your story. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. I mean, if you're happy with, the person that you chose, that's what matters.
Absolutely. So I have this question, and as we've had we run out of time so fast. But I have a question. Is waiting worth it?
Yes.
Why? Why is waiting worth it? Why is waiting for the right person
Waiting is worth it. You're kind of not only are you putting yourself first and saying, I'm worth the wait, you're also putting that other person first and saying, you're also worth the wait. It's like, it's showing that other person that you are willing to commit. It's hard for me to put it into the right.
I love what you said though.
The right words.
You said. No, I think you really nailed it.
It's so easy. Sorry to cut you
off.
You're good. My brain. This is how my brain works.
Yeah.
It's so easy nowadays to you start dating somebody and it gets really serious. It's like, let's buy a house. So easy to do that.
Yeah.
So easy to get out of that. It's like, well, let's have a family. That's easy to do, right? Like there's so many things in life that you can just, and I'm not saying that is wrong either, but like, I just think there's something to be said for like, I will wait for that with you. I will wait for you. I will wait because the waiting is worth all of that is ahead for both of us. It's almost just like, I don't know. It's a big like commitment and promise to yourself and to the other person. And also when you have faith, it's like a promise to God. Like I'm willing to wait knowing that you have set this person aside for me, for our future together. And I think had I ended up marrying a couple of the other people that I had dated, my life would not look like what it looks like now. I think that God rewards you for choosing to wait.
And you nailed it, because we live in a now generation, right?
Yes.
Instant messaging, fast food, everything at the finger, Amazon, same day delivery if you live in the city, right? We live in a now generation that the concept and the notion of waiting is gone. It's almost lost on us, especially the younger generations.
Oh, for sure.
And so the power of waiting, because waiting is sacrifice.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, that is the word I was looking for.
And when you're willing to sacrifice, the reward is worth so much more. And I love what you said. And I don't want anyone to misinterpret that saying, putting yourself first, loving yourself first, because we are called to love ourselves, not in a selfish way, not in the way that not in the way that society kind of tells us to. Not in the way that society is like put like it's me. No, that's not what we're talking about. But love yourself means to respect yourself and respect yourself enough and say, I'm not going to lower my standards and I'm going to wait until that person comes along. That is part of my story and the person that we're going to make each other better.
Because I knew that was what Jesus wanted me to do, too. I knew that was what he wanted me to do. It was hard. I'm not going to say it was easy. And so many people, thought I was crazy. Well, I don't understand. Why would you? Because eventually I moved out of his parents' house. I worked with a friend, and she's like, why don't you come live with me and her boyfriend at the time? And so I lived in the basement, and they're like, why are you spending money? Like, Matt has a house. You could live with him. Like, you could save money. Like, it didn't make sense to other people. And, of course it does get in your head, but you're like, no, I'm this is what I'm doing. This is what I chose, and I need to stick with it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just want to encourage anyone that is feeling like they're in a season of waiting or even being made fun of. I was just spending time with a young man yesterday, and he was just saying, you know, he's in his 20s and he gets made fun of all the time for not having a girlfriend. But he's still waiting for his person. And so I just want to encourage anyone that is struggling and is just saying, you know, I just haven't found my person yet. Whether you know you're 18 and all your friends are dating, or you're 30 and you just feel like, you know, your time's over.
Yeah.
That God still has a plan and a story for you, and don't compromise your values to be with someone.
Yes.
Do you have any concluding thoughts or anything you'd like to share about, you know, the wait, the process, or anything you just want to share with people?
I don't think so. It just still feels crazy for me to look back on, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's weird to talk about it again because I just feel like God put him in my life. How else do you explain that? I mean, there's so many details I left out too, that it was just like everything just fell into place. So I knew it wasn't my mom signing me up on online dating. You know, like this was meant to happen. He is the person that God set aside for me, and I know that. But yeah, it's weird to look back on now, but I'm so thankful that I trusted him first and foremost, and trusted myself, and was willing to take that leap of faith. It's super scary to do, but I'm so grateful every day. I mean, none of us are perfect, obviously, but I mean, Matt is an amazing husband, and he's a wonderful dad, and all of the things that we have walked since being married. I mean, I don't think I could have gone through some of those things with somebody else. And so, yeah, waiting is worth it.
Thank you, Marissa, so much. These are the things that we need to be talking about. And thank you for being real and for sharing your story and allowing your emotions to flow. And just, I know it's going to be inspiring to a lot of people. So thank you guys so much for listening or watching to episode 7. Thank you, Marissa, for being on the show.
Yes,
and
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your story and sharing the power of waiting. And so I hope that's an encouragement to everyone. Thanks, guys.